Big trouble ahead for Christian Horner. The woman who sued him is set for another interview this week. This step is part of her ongoing appeal, reports The Sun. The drama is far from over for the Red Bull racing boss. So let's dive into this video today to know more about what's next in this unfolding saga. A British tabloid has reported that a woman involved in a previous investigation where Christian Horner was acquitted is set to be questioned again this week. This new round of questioning arises as part of her appeal against the initial verdict, which she contested. Horner, a prominent figure at Red Bull Racing, had previously been cleared of allegations of inappropriate behaviour following a 3-week investigation conducted by an external lawyer hired at the behest of Red Bull GmbH. Despite the acquittal, the woman, a suspended colleague of Horner's at Red Bull, who has been kept on full pay, disagreed with the outcome and has taken her appeal further by lodging a complaint about Horner's conduct with the FIA, Formula One's governing body. The upcoming questioning involves not only the woman, but potentially Horner as well, with a new barrister appointed to oversee this phase of the appeal. So, what exactly happened? The female employee at Red Bull Racing, whose identity is known but remains undisclosed by the Mirror, initially filed an internal complaint against Christian Horner, prompting an investigation by the parent company of the energy drinks giant in early February. Horner, who is married to Spice Girl Geri Halliwell, has clearly denied the allegations against him. An independent barrister was hired to thoroughly assess the case, interviewing both Horner and the complainant to hear their sides of the story. After the investigation, the findings were presented to Red Bull's executives, and the complaint was ultimately dismissed. While the complainant has the right to appeal the decision, there has been no public confirmation whether she has pursued this option. Following the initial proceedings, she was suspended by the team. An insider wanted a swift resolution, stating, "No one wants this to drag on any longer than it needs to." Red Bull has committed to full transparency after the appeal process concludes, indicating a willingness to reveal more details without compromising the integrity of the process. However, it is unlikely that the full report will be made public due to confidentiality agreements signed by both Horner and the accuser. Additionally, the female staff member has filed a separate complaint against Horner with the FIA, indicating ongoing legal complexities and continued tensions within the team. A friend of the suspended Red Bull Racing employee spoke out about the emotional toll the situation has taken on her. They described her as feeling lonely and intimidated after being removed from her role within the F1 team. "It's impossible for people to understand what it's like for her," the friend shared with the BBC. "She can't talk and she won't talk, but I can tell you what it is doing to her. She is so disappointed with how it's all gone, especially as she did everything by the book," the friend said. The complainant raised her concerns privately and followed the proper procedures, yet she felt profoundly disappointed by the company's response. Despite her adherence to protocol and her reputation within the sport, she was suspended from the job she loves. "The lack of support is noted, and she's just so disappointed with the treatment from her employer," the friend continued. They pointed out the sequence of events. The employee made a complaint, a supposedly transparent and independent investigation took place, Christian Horner was cleared of the allegations, and yet she was the one who ended up suspended. This outcome has left her feeling isolated and betrayed by the lack of support from an organization she had trusted. Questions need to be asked of the Red Bull investigation. Transparency would bring confidence in what is happening to her, the friend stated, highlighting a lack of clarity about who exactly at Red Bull was responsible for gathering and handling the facts and confidential material of the case. Furthermore, they questioned the decision-making process within the company, particularly regarding who was addressing the issue of information leaks that have arisen since the complaint was made. "She just can't get over the fact that she made a complaint and was suspended. All she wants is transparency in the process," they remarked. Despite the challenging circumstances, the employee has received considerable support from friends, family, and colleagues within the Formula One community. She's had lots of messages of support, and she is remaining stoical and respecting the process, the friend added, underscoring the need for Red Bull to address these pressing questions to restore trust in their procedures. Horner will possibly be questioned again. As said, a new lawyer has been brought in to handle a fresh investigation related to a complaint at Red Bull, and he plans to meet with the woman involved this week. This might mean that Christian Horner, the manager of the Red Bull team, could be questioned again. Earlier this year, Horner expressed at a press conference that the situation had been going on for too long and that it was time for everyone to move past it. Obviously, there has been a lot of coverage surrounding this, but one has to go back to the basis that a grievance was raised, it was fully investigated, and it was dismissed. From there, we move onwards, Horner said. He also mentioned that a lot has been made of the situation due to media interest and emphasized the need to look forward and put this issue behind. As this new investigation begins, it will be interesting to see if different information comes to light, how the public will react to these new developments, and what impact this might have on Horner's future in the sport. But the Horner saga raises questions on what really goes on in F1. Red Bull is currently navigating multiple challenges. Firstly, although Horner was cleared of initial allegations of inappropriate behaviour towards a female colleague who has since been suspended but is still on full pay, the possibility remains that she could appeal. Red Bull, when asked, stated they could not comment on internal matters. The uncertainty around this potential appeal keeps the issue alive in the media. Further complicating matters are leaked messages whose authenticity is still in question. These messages, supposedly between Horner and the female colleague, were not clearly addressed during the internal investigation, leaving unresolved issues. There's also a rumor of more leaked messages that might still emerge, which keeps Horner on edge. Additionally, internal dynamics at Red Bull have been strained since the death of Dietrich Mateschitz, the company's co-founder, in 2022, contributing to ongoing power struggles within the organization. Adding to the pressure, Jos Verstappen, father of Red Bull's star driver Max Verstappen, has been publicly critical, which Horner has had to navigate amidst denying that it affects the team. Despite his public reassurances, few within Formula One believe these issues aren't affecting team dynamics. Further, sources indicate that concerned about its comparatively diminished influence over the F1 team versus other sports investments, Red Bull HQ desires to possibly reduce Christian Horner's autonomy. However, this is complicated by Horner's staunch support from Chalem Yovidia, Red Bull's Thai majority shareholder. The constant media scrutiny surrounding these dynamics may sway opinions over time, though the outcome remains uncertain. Not only this, but the sport of Formula One is grappling with broader issues of gender inequality. Recent revelations about the FIA president, Mohammed Ben Sulayem's past comments, made in 2001 on his personal website regarding women have sparked concerns. He stated he dislikes women who think they are smarter than men, which has done little to reassure those hoping for progress towards equality within the sport. Further complicating matters, Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko is now under investigation related to various media leaks concerning Horner's scrutiny by the Red Bull company. When questioned about the potential for his suspension, Marko told Austrian TV ambiguously, "I'll decide for myself what I do," acknowledging the theoretical possibility of his suspension, but leaving a clear answer unspoken. Red Bull has yet to make any official statement on this matter. The ongoing issues have exposed the systemic challenges within F1 and raised serious concerns about its public image and inclusivity. An executive who has since left the sport expressed dismay at what he described as a widespread culture of sexist and misogynistic behavior and lack of diversity. At a recent press conference, Horner was pressed about how these unfolding events might affect female F1 fans, particularly since Red Bull has previously attempted to portray the sport as supportive and inclusive for women. "Well, I think it's a complicated issue because within any company there is a grievance process," Horner explained, "and that is private between the individuals. Even if I would like to talk about it, I can't due to confidentiality restrictions. The only reason it has gained so much attention is because of leakage in the media," he insisted. Amid these challenges, Horner remained resolute about his future, reiterating his intention to stay put and confidently predicting that Max Verstappen, one of the sport's top drivers, would fulfill his contract with Red Bull through 2028. So what do you think of the reopening of Horner's case? Comment below and subscribe for more.